What's up, good people? Welcome to another episode of Cowboys Cutting Up, where Cowboy Nation, we try to figure it all out together, right? We try to figure it out together. Look, I'm Jay Stocks, the Buff Nerd. Let's go. And of course, I'm joined by fellow masochist, Nick Trey Collins. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Man, you got me feeling some sort of way right now, man. Man, we've been trying to figure this out for 27 years. What the hell are you
27
talking
years,
about?
man. You know, we're just trying to figure it out together, man. That's
if,
it.
if, if anyone has marriage counseling advice, come see a Dallas Cowboy fan. We've been together for 27 years in a horrible marriage.
Oh, so horrible, so bad. But we're here. We're still here. We're still, fighting. And man, look, make
Don't
sure
know why, but we're here.
I know it. Look, before we get started and everything, hey, first of all, thank you for joining us. Of course, you can make the comments. We'll definitely read them out in the chat and try to answer some of these questions and whatnot. And if we don't like them, we'll still try to figure it out. Of course, you can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, ASAP, All Sports All Plays, Sports Network. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Plus, Apple, all that, everywhere, Anchor, everywhere, all
we're on
podcasts
that?
where you check your. Yeah, we're on that. We're on that, bro.
We're on a podcast? I didn't know we're on a podcast.
We're on a podcast. Yes.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But make sure that you like, subscribe, and smash that bell. Tell somebody about Cowboys Cutting Up, because you know what? We are the most profitable sports franchise in the world.
Hey, man, we might not have Super Bowls in our future, but by God, we have that most.
That's it. We're the most valuable. What up, James? I knew you were going to be here, my guy. What's up, Big Game? Good to see you. I'm sure you're going to spread your hate, but that's okay. It's okay. We got plenty
Keep that
going
hate
around.
coming after week one, baby.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. Tampa Bay. We want Tampa Bay.
No, I'm not saying all that. I'm not saying
until they come in, and then we don't anymore.
Until you see Tom Brady get off the bus, who's always been the Cowboys.
Yeah, old man Tom Brady. Yeah, old man Tom. So lots to kind of dig into, but blah blah blah. But it's okay, Big Game. We're good. So let's just go ahead and let's get into the top story right now. Is Cowboys have signed a new kicker. Kinda. He may seem a little familiar to you. Guy by the name of Brett Maher, or however you want to say his last name. I think it's Maher. But he was here before, prior to last year, and he's back now again. Because of all the kicking woes that were going on in training camp, and they were woes.
God, they're horrible.
And not like the good woes, like, whoa, what's going on? So yeah, they had to sign him. They waived the rookie Jonathan Garibay. It was like, hey, yeah, cool, but you got to go, brother. So brought him in to try to give some competition to Hoosiers Lojlu. I can't say his last name, but it's okay. I don't know if he'll stick because Brett Maher has been here before. So we'll see. But that's like the biggest, which is crazy to me. Why is a kicker the biggest story of signing a kicker? Why is that, Trey?
Well, because that means the Dallas Cowboys are having a phenomenal training camp, and there's nothing to talk about. And by God, only thing missing is a kicker for us to go to the Super Bowl.
There you go. That's it. That's all we needed.
It doesn't matter if it's kicker, if it's a special teams coach. It doesn't matter if it's a water boy, got the wrong water. It's the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to find something to – like there's been no fights in Cowboy camp. There's been nothing there hasn't been really any big thing going on. We all know about the we know the wide receiver issue's an issue.
Yes.
But kicker. Lord and behold, last Tuesday, the Kickers gave the Cowboys a gift. And that was horrible kicking. And we're not talking about like barely missing field goals here, guys. We're missing they're missing by the media had to go duck for cover, go like in the fetal position and take cover because they were 20 yards away from where the goalposts were. This is how bad this was. To sign Brett Maher, back. Now, I'll give Brett Maha some credit. 2 years ago, when he had that great season, he hit that 63-yard field goal.
Yep.
He was 88% field goal good whatever. He was 88% efficient rating.
Yeah.
But then he had a bad year, which all Cowboys had a bad year that year. We sucked that year.
It was bad. Yeah, it was just bad.
But nothing could be worse than going 1 and like barely making one field goal in a whole training camp when no one's rushing you or anything.
Yeah,
I know that kicker. I'm glad you said his name because I can't say his name to save my life. So I don't want to. I kind of feel bad for the dude because he did come from a little school called Texas Tech Red Raiders. I don't know if anyone knows where that's at. That's in the little town of Lubbock, Texas. Probably about 150,000 people in it.
Yes.
So like. He had Jeter, man. He had a star on his head, the most profitable franchise star on his helmet. Jeter's got to him, But I just know one thing: Jerry Jones lied to us on the media again. I mean, what else is new on that?
What else is?
I'm not really worried about field goal kicking right now, as long as they're making good contact with the ball and stuff.
Jerry, stop. Jerry, stop.
But hey, we got 5 field goal kickers. We got 3 preseason, dude. Honestly. This Saturday night when the Dallas Cowboys go on to Denver,
yes,
I don't even want to score a touchdown. Like, just get it past the 40-yard line and let's just have a kicking contest. Like, that's all we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, no one you're not gonna see starters anyway. Let's just be straight up honest. But we need a field goal kicker. But Jerry Jones says we only need someone to make a 30-yard field goal. I don't know what planet he's watching from because we always stall after we get past the 50-yard line. So I don't understand any of that. So
we'll kind of talk about the preseason, game that's coming up, as well as some other things that are happening. I'm actually pretty excited. I want to see on their channel. Hopefully they'll show some of the highlights of what's going on. But we talked about that. Progression of Quentin Bohanna. There's good talk out of camp, that he's doing well and that he's doing his thing. And so want to see what he's going to come up to. Here's what has also been coming up is, Romo talk again. It's always there. It's always lingering. And is Dak Prescott as good at this point as Tony Romo? They both have at this point 1-3 in the playoffs. They both have like the same divisional wins. And we talked, backstage about this. And I just want to go ahead and jump into this because there are Romo lovers and there are Dak lovers, and then there are Romo haters, and then there are Dak haters. It's like the Cowboys. Either you love them or you hate them, but that's it. So at this point, who you taking?
Man.
Who are you taking at this point?
First off, I need a correction on something. Tony Romo actually has 2 playoff wins. Okay.
Yes, in his career. But at this point,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, at this point, they both have the same playoff record.
Okay. Who am I taking? It's a no-brainer for me. I mean, I love Dak Prescott. I think he has great leadership skills. He's by far the best professional athlete, press conference guy in the world. He won't say anything bad, anything about a teammate, about anybody. Right. He's a team player. He wants to win. He wants to do this and that. I have nothing bad to say about Dak. But man, give me Tony Romo. People forget people remember the interceptions and stuff like that. It's like the late clutch interceptions and stuff. But you also got to remember, Dallas didn't have a running game for a majority of Tony Romo's career. They didn't have a defense for Tony Romo's career. So I know you're going to hate me, but man, Tony, if you put Tony, I'm still convinced. And hit me in the comment section. If Tony Romo was in 2016, Dak had a good playoff game. But I'm just saying, I think the Cowboys might have won against Green. I think that would have been a better. I'm telling you, go ahead. What?
When I hear he had no running game, but I think of DeMarco Murray.
I said for most of his career. I did not say always. For most of his career.
But he had DeMarco for what?
1 year.
4? No.
1 year. One good year DeMarco Murray had. It was his end of his contract year, and then the Dallas Cowboys didn't want to sign him because they saw the writing on the wall, and they went to
But no,
Philadelphia.
DeMarco was here for a minute. He was here for a minute.
Yeah, but it wasn't a running game like he had in 2014, though. Like that was never going to be handled. I mean, that was a remarkable year that DeMarco Murray had. But behind a great, that's when our offensive line was great.
We had a very good, and they were young.
And you could have put anyone behind that offensive line, and they probably would have done even better.
I don't know about that. Yeah, he is smoking some good.
I'm just saying, Tony Romo broke his back. He still led the team back on a game-winning drive. He had a punctured lung and still played and still
that was the
won
Niner
that
game. That was a Niner game. Yes,
he played with concussions. This guy played through. He literally broke his back for the Dallas Cowboys.
He did.
And finally, at the end of his career, they finally got the offensive line right. By then, it was already too late.
Because he fell and hurt his back. Granted, someone fell on him, but
280-pound linebacker.
But I mean, I think it was safe to say by that time he was injury prone. He could not finish a whole season, right? And yes, because of all of the hits and everything like that. But the reality is that and I am not. I think Dak is a good player.
Mm-hmm.
My issues where he can't throw anyone open, but he's got an arm. He's got everything there. He
doesn't have a stronger arm than Tony Romo.
He's got a stronger arm than Tony Romo.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He does.
Tony Romo threw the ball more accuracy down the field than what.
Look, Tony Romo had inflated stats. Let's just because they had to come from behind. They had to come from behind.
And Dak doesn't. Dak's stat pad, dude. I love Dak, but a lot of times he's had to come from behind.
Yes, a lot of times they're already up. And then the defense was so bad. The defense was bad. The defense was bad that they had to come back.
Oh my God, that's Tony Romo. Yes.
No.
When did Tony Romo have the best defense in the league? When?
Okay, it was a little shoddy when Tony had defenses. The defense was a little shoddy.
Tony Romo never had a defense that created so much turnovers that the Cowboys recruited last year.
The
run
not
defense
at all.
Always sucked for the Dallas Cowboys since the 90s Cowboys. Tony Romo never had a defense until 2014. And the only reason they had a good defense in that league because they had a great offensive line. They controlled the clock, and they were playing from the front instead of from behind. That's the only reason the Dallas Cowboys had a good defense in 2014. I'm just saying.
Okay. And Facebook usually
no.
You know what?
No.
This is not far off.
No,
that's not a far off
comment. Oh, come on. Dude, I was wondering how many episodes it was going to take for me and you to disagree like this. I'm just saying. Dude,
they are the comment. They are the same person, just a black and white version of each other. Dak Prescott has more inflated stats. Yes, especially this past season, it was crazy. He's throwing way more than he should, but I think that's fair to say.
Oh my God!
I think it's fair to say.
God. You know what? I got a homework assignment. Go back and watch Tony Romo's whole career and tell me if he had a good defense or not. Give me a break.
I can tell you that he didn't. His defense does not stack up to what Dak has had this past year.
Thank you.
And in the previous year. But I will say this though. Tony Romo's defense wasn't. They didn't have a good safety. The linebacking core was okay.
Whoa. Who didn't have a good safety? We had Heath, baby.
Defense.
We had Heath. Joking.
Oh my God.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, the defense, the linebackers were, serviceable. Sean Lee was he was okay. He was okay. But the I don't know, the defensive line, there were some holes there, but again, serviceable. But the Romo he would get you, he would put you behind. He would put you behind, and he had to bring you back. Look, go back, Trey. Watch.
We'll go back and watch. Yeah, I'll go back and watch Dak. I'll go watch Dak Prescott fumbling balls and throwing interceptions and pick sixes too. That put him behind. Don't give me that.
All right. I don't know about the pick sixes. Dak doesn't have a lot of pick sixes, but it was just the fact that
He fumbled.
No, I
I
didn't
know
fumble a
plenty of
lot.
game. No, but oh my god, he
He
turned the
didn't fumble
ball
a lot.
over. He made
Usually on
errant
downs. It
throws.
was usually on downs. So it was in the dirt or overthrows or
Exactly.
nah.
Whatever. Go ahead.
He
Keep
like
making
to
your
say
point.
something. South America's team is mid level squad. You know what? Again, big game. I knew you'd come in with this hate and vitriol, but that's okay. But yeah, at this point, Dak, Romo, I would say Dak is a little bit better because he has more potential.
I'm out.
Yes,
Bye.
he has more potential. He does.
I like this Facebook user's post right here. I like this.
What's this? So Romo puts your head, but Prescott brings you back from behind. No, I'm not tripping. I didn't say he'll bring you back, but at least you're somewhat. You're in the game.
What? Oh my god.
You're in the game,
dude. You can
Are
tell
you
it's
not in
football
the
season
game?
because I'm kidding. You
Are
tell
you
it's
not in the
football.
game?
I'm on the cusp of like cussing out here. Like that means it's football season, right?
That means it's football season. Let's go. We're
No,
getting
but
ready.
dude, I love, like I said, Dak Prescott's a great leader. I love Dak.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people like I hate Dak. I hate like I
No, I
love
don't,
Tony
and I
Romo.
don't hate
I like
Romo.
both guys, but I'm
Yeah.
just telling you, if I mean, let's just face it, Tony Romo was a bit unlucky too. I mean, let's just be straight up honest with us. Going back in 2014, 4 minutes left, 4th and 1. Dez caught the catch. That's a catch in today's
It's a
NFL.
catch.
They changed the rule because of Dez. The NFL knew that was a mess up. That was a catch. It was controlled. He took 2 steps and went, whatever the case may be. I don't care whatever. Even Mike McCarthy today probably says it's a catch. Whatever.
He
But back
does,
then
but
it
he
wasn't.
won't. Yeah.
But and then the botch snap in the Seahawks game, when he was a holder, that he had some bad luck. Tony Romo had some bad luck. Well, Dak Prescott has bad luck too. But I'm just saying, Tony Romo, I don't know, black cat or whatever the case may be. He just seems like always some. At least with Tony Romo, I always felt like, okay, prime example. Back when Peyton Manning first got Peyton Manning, whenever they're the best offense in the league, and no one can stop them. And Tony Romo went par for par with him until the final. And the only reason he threw that interception, I mean, he stepped on the guy's foot. People forget about that. But he threw the ball 60 times. You throw the ball 60 freaking times. They had no run game. If you throw the ball 60 times, you're going to throw at least one interception. Don't have one interception to 60 passes. I think that's pretty damn good.
But here's to your point, and here's to your point.
Yes, James Candina. That's all we have. All right.
Yeah,
that's all we have.
That's all we have. 27 years. Did you not hear me in the beginning when I said we're here to just try to figure this thing out together? Yeah. Bad luck, whatever, but it's the fact that to your point, the defense was not they couldn't hold water.
No.
It just, and especially if it was passing, if it was a squad that could pass, it was just bad. It was horrible. But just the fact that in that situation, when you feel like you have to be Superman, and that's been my thing with Romo, is that he feels like he has to be Superman.
He had to be Superman.
And this is what I'm seeing with Dak, is he feels like he's got to be the Superman.
And he doesn't.
He doesn't. And I got a problem with that.
Okay. I'll give you up to this. Dak feels like he has to be Superman because of the coaching situation.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
Tony Pollard last year, we saw the numbers. Tony Pollard, when he was he averaged 5.5 yards a rush last year.
Yeah.
When he was in the lineup behind Dak Prescott or beside Dak Prescott, when he was a running back, that offense was clicking.
Yes,
because you had a vouch for Tony Pollard because you don't know if he's going for a pass or going to you spread him out a little bit more. With Zeke, you can kind of pound the box a little bit, and see what can happen. You can play a little back zone, whatever, but because you knew Zeke was going to go at the middle. He's a pass catcher, but he ain't like a Tony Pollard who started out as a receiver, and you can use him in so many different ways. But that's where the Cowboys kind of missed, and everyone knows it. That's where this coaching staff, for every stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't use, but they've said, "Oh, Debo killed us last year because of that." Yeah. Oh, maybe we need to implement it this year. Yeah. You think we've been trying to tell you all that for the whole year last year when he was
at
like, are
least.
y'all blind? Did y'all not watch film and see that our offense was a lot better when Tony Pollard was actually in the lineup? I'm
Yes.
just I know his blocking sucks. Zeke's an awesome
Yes.
rush blocker or
Yes.
pass blocker,
Mm-hmm.
but Tony Pollard gives you so much options. And if that
But
being a contract year, pick him up in fantasy. Just saying.
but I think I think what you should see. I don't know if they'll do it, but what you should see is both of them on the field. Whether you have, whether it's going to be, um, you know, you'll have Zeke in the back, and then you go ahead and put Pollard out. You can, pull him out of the backfield. You can have him in a pro set and have him just go out there. But I think there's so many ways that you can do it, but it's going to take, really just doing something different, not doing the same thing over and over. And I know that injuries did kind of play a little bit of a role last year, but not to the extent that they're trying to put that on that piece. Like, I need to
I'm
see
sorry.
creativity.
I'm sorry. I'm tired of the injury excuse for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Everybody gets injured.
Yeah, okay, yeah, everyone does. But the San Francisco 49ers, they had literally playing with third stringers, and they still, they finally got healthy at the end at the right time. But they kept afloat. The New England Patriots, they have injuries every year, but you don't hear anything bad about them.
Right.
The New Orleans Saints didn't have a freaking quarterback and still almost made the freaking playoffs. Don't give me. I'm tired of this injury. Oh, Tyron Smith didn't play. Tyron Smith doesn't play anywhere in 17 games ever. I mean, the guy's old. But I'm tired of this excuse stuff. I'm just tired of it.
That's it.
And at the end of the year, I just don't want to be like, I'm done with this team. I'm done with this team. Then come back crawling again back in April. And I'm like, all right.
But that's what we do. That's who we are. Little Boxes, what's going on? Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the show. Yes, we are worried about the offense. You guys worried about the offense?
I'm not.
I am. How could you not, Trey? How could you not be worried?
I mean, okay, I'm not an idiot here. I don't think the Cowboys offense is going to be just elite as it was last year.
Yeah.
Because we lost a couple of wide receivers and stuff.
Sure.
But for the life of me, I hope to God that Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore, the great genius that he is, I hope to God that they saw Tony Pollard's a great player. He can play many different roles. And then they bring in Turbin. They could use so much of that stuff that Deebo Samuels did. They have the weapon. We lost Amari Cooper, but my God, Amari Cooper checked out of games a lot. He dropped crucial passes. Yeah, he was a phenomenal route runner. Don't get me wrong. But I kind of agree with Jerry Jones. We're gonna have to see what CeeDee Lamb, because he is a first round pick, and we did draft him to be the number one overall wide receiver. We're gonna have to see. He's still on a rookie contract. He's gonna have to bone up. I think using Tony Pollard, I hate going back to this, but I think put him in the slot is going to help out a lot, open up a lot of spaces for Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb in the future. I still think TJ Vassar is going to be a phenomenal player. I've seen him in camp, and I still think they're third round draft pick. He's doing great things at camp. Granted, it is camp, but I think that these underdog players, they're not going to be account like the defenses are going to kind of come in thinking. Okay, they're not what they used to be, right? Like, kind of take a load back. And then by the time all that happens, then they're worried, and then our run game starts to happen, and Zeke can take a little break and then take the hits. That's what I think. I'm optimistic, but whatever the case may be.
And again, Tyron Smith, he was great. Now it's time. And that's why you have to take the flyer on Tyler Smith to say, hey, look, we know he's got issues, but he's a young kid. He's gifted. Physically, we just got to get the mental part, and making sure that he can do what he needs to do and he doesn't commit the same penalties and he understands his body and how to play this game. But physically, the kid is amazing when you look at him on paper.
If you watch his tapes, he is phenomenal.
He's nice.
It's just the penalties, but he's going to the right team.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But McCarthy has had success with offensive lines and
that's
things
his pet project. That's his pet project.
And so for that, I'm okay with that. I wasn't when we drafted him because I thought we overpaid. I thought that was a spot we definitely could have looked at, something else. Hell, receiver. if we knew we were going to do this for Amari Cooper.
I think they would have, but Olave, I think they're looking at Olave
Mm-hmm.
from Ohio State. He went off the board pretty quick. Receivers went off the board quick this draft.
It did.
And by the time they got there, like, all right, all these other guys were second round draft.
Yeah.
Why not just go to then at that time you just go to your best available player no matter where you're at and you get them because you don't know what the draft
they
is
weren't going to go defense at all, which I was okay. Dan Quinn got his last year and Micah. And they're like, look. And they still went defense. They went defense, especially at the end of the rounds. But they did pick them up, I think, second and like fourth. Yeah, so like towards the end, they did. And they picked up a tight end. But it was just the fact that, this was the guy that you wanted. And I was really hoping that they would get, what's the kid name? Linderbaum? I think that was his name. He's a center from what?
Iowa.
I think that, from Iowa. And they ended up getting Smith. And I said, man, to replace Bogdanovich because Bogdanovich has had problems. And so we're going to have to see what he does. I'm worried about the offense for the reason of the offensive line and not sure where we are with the receivers. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't say best available. I said the Cowboys best available. Maybe they had him first overall. I'm just saying what you have on your board as a team. Then maybe that's what the Cowboys had.
Right.
I don't know. I wasn't in the war room. I wasn't on Jerry's yacht. I don't
know. His second yacht that he got without telling the wife.
His wife.
It's nice. I need that kind of money. I need that kind of pool.
He bought it for his unborn baby, right? Sorry, I'm in football. I'm just ready for football.
Wow. Let's okay, yeah. So, speaking on that, in camp, and here's the thing, and I know Big Game can kind of talk to this too. When you're going up against 2s and 3s and you're a starter, you look awesome. You look great. Right?
Unless you're Trayvon Diggs.
Well, or a kicker. The board may have been broke, my guy. But that's the other piece is that they're in practice. I'm really ready to see what they're going to do against Denver because they're practicing against them tomorrow. As a matter of fact, it's welcome to the Cowboys cutting up, man. This is how we do it. There's always going to be shots fired, my dude. But the Cowboys are going to have a joint practice with the Broncos before their first preseason game. So hopefully they televise some of it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I'll have to kind of check and see on my Cowboys app if they're going to televise some of the plays, some of the practicing. But what do you expect, in this upcoming practice? I told you backstage what I thought.
Well, let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
Are you a fan? Would you rather go to this new era of like team scrimmages instead of preseason? Or would you like keeping or maybe have like one preseason game or two preseason games?
I think you should have both. I think both are good. As long as because the practices are scripted, you know what you're looking for. You're kind of seeing what's what. You run your 10 plays or whatever, 10, 15 offensive plays, and they'll run their 10, 15 offensive plays or however many it's going to be. And then, you're good. Because the thing is, when you're battling against each other, you may not be giving it your all. Or, hey, you got to let up. Hey, you can't do this. You can't do that. And in practice, with a joint practice, it's not going to be as tough. But there's going to be some, hey, you're not on my squad, so I don't really care. But yeah, but when it comes to preseason, I think you need it. Yeah. You need at least 3 games. Yeah, absolutely. Way more than 10 plays. Yeah. But like I'm saying, just, hey, you run yours and then they'll run theirs. And then, you may go back and forth. But, and of course, obviously the game, you know how that runs. But when you start looking at this, I want to see competition. Like I want to see what they really look like. Yeah. And I think it's one of those things where when you get tired of beating up on each other, now you get to go beat up on someone else. But I think joint practices are good. And I think preseason is good, especially if you took away one of the preseason games. Now you only have 3. Um, yeah, it's good, but they need to do something, right? Because you need to see what you got.
See,
Absolutely.
see, I'm in favor of the preseason games, just for me personally, because me playing when maybe I should ask Big James this too, but I know high school and college ball is totally different than professional.
Hmm.
But I always sucked at practice. I could never get the good feel about practice. I could never but when I put the uniform on for a game, I feel
Yeah.
more comfortable and I showed out more during the game. And I think that's
Mm.
what a lot of players do too. And you don't get so if you take away the preseason, like the media kind of talking about, like the NFL we're probably talking about a little bit, you're not
Mhm.
going to cutting down from 72 to 54 players. You're probably not going to get the best evaluation because of that. So you do need to see live. So I do agree with you on that part.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, and that's why I like the joint practices, because it's scripted and I know what I want to look for. Whereas preseason, there's so many other things kind of going on um, with that. It's the show before the show, right? And so if you have the show before the show, you're gonna have people that are like, "Ugh, come on, what do what's going on here, what's going on there." Whereas the practice is just us. Hey, I want to see this pass, this throw. I want to see this player and this player. I want to see their best against our best. Let me see if he can run this route against another player that does this. But yeah, I like the practices, but the preseason, yeah, now it's, hey, here's the show, here are the bright lights, and especially if you're playing, in at AT&T with the Star, everyone's watching.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Oh,
watching.
okay. So you asked me what do I expect this
Yeah.
Saturday night? Not a lot.
Yeah.
Not a lot. I mean, honestly, I hope the Cowboys go 1-3. Seems like we always have the best season. Honestly, well, think about the Cowboys always have a good regular season when the
That's
team
true.
sucks in the preseason. But
Preseason,
when we
that's
have a
true.
good preseason,
Yeah.
okay, not me and you, but
Yeah.
the Cowboy fan that everybody hates, right? Like or
Right.
the egotistical Cowboy fans that Stephen A. Smith hates.
Right.
If we go 3-0, oh Lord, we'll win the Super Bowl.
We
You know
win
what
the
I mean?
Super Bowl. Yeah.
And then Jerry Jones gets all happy and like, oh gosh, and
Yeah.
then we go against Tampa Bay and get our butts blown out. But honestly, well, you're not going to see any Zeke. You're probably going to see any Tony Pollard. I would like to see Tony Pollard a little bit more. I would like to
Yeah.
leave the first. What I do want to see though, maybe not so much this first week, but going
Mhm.
on maybe second or third game.
Yeah.
I want to see Dak in the game a little bit, not a lot, but
Mm.
just a little, just to get game reps for those young wide receivers because she's not
Right.
going to get it with those with Ben DiNucci throwing. Because breaking news, Cowboy fans,
Danucci.
Will Greer has hurt his growing, and now we might be seeing Ben DiNucci for majority of the game on Saturday night. Just letting everyone know if you haven't noticed that, but that's what's going to happen.
Awesome. Yeah, because we cannot get Dak hurt at all.
No,
So
but like one series here, just with the first team.
yeah.
I understand why Zeke doesn't play. Zeke never plays preseason games. I don't care. He's in the best shape of his life too, apparently. So whatever the
Mhm.
case may be on that.
Again. Yeah.
Tony Pollard's in a contract year. We're going to use him more. I would not want him. I want to see our third string running back because that's going to be a death lineup. Like we're going to
Yeah.
have death at the the running back position.
Yeah.
And then the offensive line. Like I got to see this offensive line work and gel together.
Yep.
I don't care Tyrone Smith. Honestly, I hope Tyrone Smith doesn't even play one snap in the preseason, which he's probably not
Wow.
going to. But I do want to see like all these other the first round draft pick that we did pick up. I want to see him in game out more than one series. I want to see this offensive line gel a little bit because let's face it, Tyrone Smith is not going to be in for probably more than 13 games this year. Let's just be sure something wrong going to happen to him.
No.
So I do want to see that. And then our defense. Okay, I want to rebuttal something. Last week I said I'm not worried about our defense. Watching tape, I'm kind of worried about our defense.
Really?
Our second, Trayvon Diggs is letting people just blow right. I don't know which is for shows and giggles or whatever the case, but he's just letting people blow right past him, dude. Like nothing. Like it was kind of eye watching to me. I don't know, just because it's practice and he's getting bored or tired, but but I mean,
I think maybe it's the level of competition. Maybe it's one of those things where, again, maybe in Denver he shows up, for the preseason or during practice. Hey, you know what? I haven't seen this guy, or it's been a minute since I've seen this guy. So because they were embarrassed by Denver last year, right? That was an embarrassment. That was an embarrassment.
It
So
was, but it's not a reputation like a payback game, right? It's a preseason game. It's not the
it's a
same Denver.
preseason game.
It's not this.
Sure.
It's not the same
No,
Denver team either
it's
because
not.
they have Russell Wilson and
Yeah.
their wide receivers are kind of hurt too. So I just want to see our defense play. Honestly, I want to see our run defense. Like even though how our defense
Yes.
turned the ball over last year, we're still in the
Yes.
middle of the pack in run defense. That's why Jerry Jones. We have 23 mil. Someone in Chicago asked for a trade. He's pretty
Sure
good
did.
stopping the run, and we have the cap space.
Pretty good.
I'm just saying.
So, in you fit him in, you have Barr, you have Micah. Van Der Esch is saying he's feeling great again. Whatever that means.
Great. Everyone's feeling great.
Feeling great. And Armstrong and Bond. I mean, there are some ways that they really can, and I like Quinn as a DC. I like him as a DC. He's very imaginative and can put things in place and people in places and spots that, he says, look, Trayvon, you can do whatever you need to do. Curse has been looking good, had a little bit of tightness in his back apparently earlier this week. And so they put Bell in, and apparently Marquise Bell has been looking really good. So they're looking at putting him in, kind of as a Curse.
I'm not buying this crap either. Like my back hurts and stuff. Let's just be honest. It's the NBA logo of like, okay, reload management. We're taking you're having a day off.
Okay.
You're having a couple of days off.
Which is fine. Again, preseason.
We're in camp.
We're in camp. Yeah, we're in camp. So let's see what's happening, and then also making sure that you do want to work in your young guys. You do want to see guys that are rookie or first year, second year, third year players, or players that maybe at the end, do they still have enough to help spell? Because I think the defense, the way it's going to run, you'll have different guys coming in. There'll be rotations. You're definitely going to have rotations coming in. So you have to have the depth there. You got to make sure that they can cover, because Trayvon's going to go. He's going to be a ball hawk. He's going to try and get more than 7 this year.
Oh, he's going for the record.
He's going for the record.
He's going. But okay, let me ask you this, since we're on this topic a little bit. Do you think the backup quarterback position is safe with Cooper Rush?
No, absolutely not.
So would you bring in somebody, or would you leave it as is?
Somebody like who? Like who would we bring in? Who's out there?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I knew you were going to say that. And we talked about this a little bit backstage, and it's the thing with Jimmy G.
By the way, I'm joking. I know it's not happening, Cowboy fans.
No,
for the rumors,
before breaking.
Breaking. Trey
Collison. Trey Collison said Jimmy G's coming to Dallas.
I know it's not happening, but I'm just saying.
He's coming to Dallas, y'all.
He's done a lot. He's been to a Super Bowl, been to an NFC Championship game.
He has, but does he feel as though he's a backup? That's number one.
The only reason I say that is because I wouldn't mind it, because that would force Mike McCarthy to be a running team.
That's an interesting take. So if you sign Jimmy G as a backup, that forces him to be.
No, I'm saying like if something happened, I saw him happening, and he had to put him in.
I don't know, because even Jimmy G proved that he could still pass with a hurt hand, with a busted hand.
Only against the Cowboys.
It was enough. And we had a vaunted defense. Well, I won't say vaunted, but we had a good defense.
Well, and he didn't.
We couldn't get to him
either. We only allowed 21 points.
Right. We should have beat him, because if you score 21 points with the offense that we had.
The best offense in the league, baby.
Best offense in the league. Do you see what kind of running backs and quarterbacks and receivers and blah, 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 blah that we have? Trey just left because that hurt his soul. And I understand that. So, look, the question was.
It didn't hurt my soul, man. If anyone out there wants a 8-month-old pug,
no.
Whoever told me this lied. So popular. They said, "Oh, these are the cuddliest dogs in the world."
Not at all.
Bull crap. Because this dog gets in every whatever. Go ahead.
I'm just You got me with that book. I think one of the things that we got to look at again, and it goes back to that question: how do we feel about the offense? Low boxes. I mean, I don't know, and this brings us to another question: what truly defines success as a Cowboys organization and fan? I was having this conversation with someone actually on the Chop Shop yesterday, and Tuesdays 8 p.m. Chop Shop, Big Game Sports Bus, Big Game Entertainment, ASAP. Here's the thing with it. Some people would consider a division crown, hey, we won a division, as success. And as a Cowboys fan who has seen them win championships, multiple champions, I've seen them in my lifetime. Okay. That's not enough. Like, that's not success. Winning division is not a success. Having a shirt that says, Beast of the East that's not success. Like, I don't buy that. I don't buy them. I don't purchase them. That's cool. That's great. I don't do it. I do it when I'm around Eagles fans. Like, I talk about it. Hey, who won the East? But it doesn't matter. That's not success. Success to us is championships. That's it.
Well, you got the division, like, it's starting to become more like the NBA, right? Like the NBA, you don't even know who wins the division anymore because who cares, right? That's pretty much what it's coming down to in the NFL. Like, it's all about playoffs, unless you're like the Browns or
Right.
the Miami Dolphins or
Listen
one of
to
those teams. But no,
Yeah.
but like you're saying, divisions like we say Mike McCarthy went 12-5 last year.
Yes.
Won a division.
Yes.
And this guy is fighting for his job. That should tell you what the Dallas Cowboys mindset is. That's what that's not a successful year. We're tired of the wild card losses. We're tired of the division one and done. We're tired of we win one playoff game. We need NFC Championship. We need a Super Bowl appearance. Last time the Dallas Cowboys were in the Super Bowl was 96. My sister was 1 year old. They played the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh's been in the Super Bowl 3 times since then. Yes. Just saying. The Bengals, since that time, have been to a Super Bowl. Jacksonville Jaguars have actually been to 2 AFC Championship games since then.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have won a Super Bowl since then.
They went back to back.
Yes. And the Aints, who used to be the Saints, who used to be the Aints, have won a Super Bowl.
The Eagles
has yet to make the NFC Championship game.
The Eagles of all the people, of all the teams, has won a championship.
I understand these young blood Cowboy fans who've never seen success. Like that's why I became a Cowboy fan, because I grew up. I was born in '86, so I've been watching football. You can ask my parents, God's honest truth, since I was probably 2 years old.
Yeah.
Like my first thing was a ball. Like that's all. I didn't want toys. I didn't want anything. I wanted a ball. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm a sports fanatic.
That's why you're on the show.
So I saw the 91 team. I saw the 92 team. I still remember where I was at. I was in Fort Worth at a church when we had a big screen TV and a Super Bowl party at the church.
Let's go.
And then in the last Super Bowl in '96, I remember all my friends were playing on the trampoline at my friend's house. Not me. I was the only one in the living room on the floor, biting my nails and watching the Super Bowl. They thought I was weird. But whatever the case may be, that's how I've seen success too.
Yes.
And it sucks because I don't want to pick second teams.
No.
But I'm kind of forced to at this point. To have a side chick on the side because the Dallas Cowboys, I know, are going to fail me.
Yes.
But like my wife says, why do you keep rooting for this team? Because that one time they actually do it. That one time, it's going to be more bigger than a Yankees championship for me.
Yeah.
It's going to be better than. It's close to being to where my daughter was born. That's how close it's going to be. I'm not playing above my daughter, but it's close.
Right there. Like my son and right right there,
So you Cowboy fans who are young boys who were born in 2000s and later and stuff like that, or hell, even 96 and later.
Yeah.
We understand, like, okay, yeah, you haven't seen your team win. I can see why you think a division championship is a big success.
Right.
This team is the third most Super Bowls in. It used to be tied for first. That's how long it's been. They were tied for first for the longest since the Patriots, who've only had 0 championships,
settle.
Now has 6 Super Bowl championships.
6.
7, 6?
For my Spanish, 6.
Tom Brady has 7 since we've been to the Super Bowl.
See it there. That don't even make sense, man. Like, and I think that's, but again, most valuable sports franchise in the world.
I don't care about valuable.
And this is what we're talking about backstage is, even though young people have not seen the success that we've seen, right? They know of it. And it's a brand at this point. And so to be a successful franchise from that standpoint, okay, but you have to win championship. You have to win. You have to win. And so
hell, I would take an NFC championship game at this point. I would just take that right now.
NFC championship just to get into it?
Yes. Right. We haven't been at a divisional round since 96, dude. Come on.
I know. Look, it's like dating that really pretty, crazy girlfriend. You're like, oh, she's so pretty, but she's crazy. Like I'm afraid when she gets around a knife, not even pick it up, just gets around a knife. Like, oh, okay, this is weird, but she's pretty. She's beautiful. She cooks dinner, but you gotta kind of poke in there, like, what's in here? Is this all good? First. Yeah, hey, you eat some, then I'm all good.
Hey, let me feed my dog real quick. Like.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's that kind of life, man. But you still do it because you are a Cowboys fan. It's like that sweet shot in golf, right? You play golf, it's hot, you're walking around, you're in a cart, whatever. But when you hit the right one, when it feels good, sounds good, goes where you want it to go, you're in it now. You're like, all right, let's go. I'll come back. And it still sucks. It still sucks. But you play. I've been doing it for a long time. I play, I get out there. But you do it for that one shot to tell someone the shot on 13 that I had at this, at this course. That's it. That's it. We talked about the starters in the preseason. We talked about, defining success. Let's get into this, man. What would surprise you, truly surprise you this season? Now, again, we've been Cowboys fans for a very long time. We've seen so much. For you guys out there, for you ladies, gents, what would surprise you this season as a Cowboys fan as we start to get into the preseason? And we'll ask this again after preseason, but right now, what would surprise you, truly surprise you as a Cowboys fan?
Jimmy Johnson getting the Ring of Honor.
Tiger Woods for real. Jimmy Johnson getting the Ring of Honor this year? Yeah, that would. That's one. That's definitely one up there.
No. What would surprise me this year?
What would truly surprise you?
We're talking statisticals, or are we talking like record?
Just anything.
Bringing the Big D back in Dallas, where there's a vaunted defense, where everyone's afraid to play them. Wow. That would be the number one or two defense in the league. That would be the number one. Dak Prescott have an MVP year, and then CeeDee Lamb and the receiving core go bonkers. Yeah. And honestly, I'm all that saying. Yeah. I still think Ezekiel Elliott going for 1,300 yards.
Now that would surprise me.
That would surprise me.
You know what? I would tell you, if I saw Zeke go for 13, or even if he goes for rushing for 1,000, and Pollard rushing for 1,000, or close to it, getting close.
If it's going to do that, then
receiving.
Go bet in Vegas, because they have the both combined to over 2,000 yards for both running backs this year in Vegas. So if you want to do that, go bet.
So
going to happen.
Yeah, if it was total, and I'll say total yards, if they were both like 1,000 yards, total yards for each, I would be surprised at that. I would be surprised if there's actually more balance. And I would even say 60-40 pass rush. I would be surprised if I saw that this season. I really would. I think
Just stick with the run game.
Wow.
Like we saw that in the like if things get bad, still stick with it because we
Yeah.
saw in the 49er game when we had that one good drive, what happened? We ran the damn ball.
We ran the damn ball. We ran the damn ball. But it's we are crazy because we're Cowboys fans.
But that's what the question was, James. Like, what would surprise you? I just said
What would surprise you?
that would surprise me.
That would surprise
That
me
was
if
the
I saw that.
question. I'm not saying they're going to do it. I'm just saying that would
That
surprise
would
me, James.
surprise me if they
Listen to the question, big game. Listen to the question next time. Don't snooze off in your recliner. Okay.
That's hey, that's how he does in this big gated community, man.
Go open her AC or something, man, because
he's gonna give me crap about that. I know, but it's just a simple fact that to me that would truly surprise me because it just hasn't been done. I'll tell you what would surprise me if Dak actually threw someone open this season. That would surprise me. And I love Dak. I think
but he's better than Romo, right? He's better than Romo. I'm not going back there.
It's a slight edge, and it's only slight because I think he just has it's a little bit more physicality than him.
If you're talking about a durable, like a dual quarterback, then yes, Dak Prescott is, but Tony Romo could never run. But Tony Romo was a masterful game. He wasn't fast, but he avoided sacks like no one else. Like that guy somehow was a magician back in the backfield. He got away from TJ or JJ Watt. He got away from a lot of like you go back and look at those highlights. There's some like how the heck did he get away from that?
But he didn't get away from too many because he got hurt a lot. So because when he got hit,
but Tony Romo didn't get started hurt early in his career like Dak Prescott has.
No, he didn't. He didn't get hurt like he did. But
sorry, Dak, if you're listening, I love you. Send me season tickets. I love you. I'll let you marry my daughter if she was of age. I love you as a guy. I love you everything, but I gotta go with my boy Romo.
Look.
But if they do go to the NFC Championship game this year, I might reconsider.
So stop it. Quincy Carter's available.
Oh, that was the worst Dallas quarterback.
I'm curious how many sacks he had against him. I don't even know if he even played against him, but I'm curious how many sacks he had on Quincy Carter. But big game. But look, that would surprise me. That would truly surprise me. I think we have a chance to win the division. I still think Philly has a slight edge only because of the draft and what they've put together in the offseason. Now, we'll see. Dallas will be surprising. Big game, I'll leave that to you, man. If you want to be a hater all day, look, I don't want to take your spot, man. I think that's just where it is. Jay, what's up, my guy? Good to see you there. Yeah, strong. I think, it's just one of those things where we have a great chance. We just have a great chance to do it all if the parts come together, and it's going to take everyone from the top down. Everyone from the top down.
Well, you also got to remember no one's won back-to-back NFC East titles.
Well, there's that part too.
The Eagles did it back in Donovan McNabb days. That's just how long it's been.
Big face. That's what we call him. Big face.
But honestly, yeah, the Eagles made a lot. But honestly, you're such a Dak Prescott. And I even said Dak Prescott's probably a top 10 quarterback. I think he's number 8 or number 9. I put it on my list overall, which I might change because Matthew Stafford is actually hurt right now. So that might actually change a little bit. But I just don't trust Jalen Hurts. He can run the ball, but if you stack the box, I don't think he can beat you. And A.J. Brown, he's a great wide receiver. I mean, I still can't believe him and DK Metcalf were on the same freaking team, and they still didn't win it. Go to the playoffs. But at the same time, he gets hurt too.
Yeah,
I just don't trust. I think you get tape on what the Eagles did last year. I maybe just the Eagle and me hating me. I don't know,
which
but
is fine here.
And I love Jalen Hurts too as a person, but he's an Eagle and I can't stand you. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. And he played for Alabama, which I really don't like Alabama either.
Well,
and he played for OU, and I don't like OU. So
there you go.
But Jalen Hurts is a nice human being. I love God, and I like everything about him. But at the same time, I just don't think he's that quarterback that's going to lead the Eagles to the promised land. And I think that's what. And the Dallas Cowboys fans just got to be patient too a little bit, because they're the first half of the schedule is kind of rough. So you got to stick with them a little bit. But that second half, that's when we're going to make our push.
Wow. Jay, that's Zeke to be a top 5 running back for Dallas to be successful.
I could see that.
I don't know if it's going to be Zeke, but that running game has to be top 5. And I don't know if it, like I said, I don't know if it's Zeke.
So basically, Dallas has to be top 5 rushing team, not Zeke, but 5. Because you got to include Dak Prescott in that as well, because he lost weight. He lost weight to run the ball this year.
Okay. I lost 1.5 pounds, but I still am slow. But I'm faster than my wife. I'm saying it's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. If a bear is attacking us,
hey, you just got to run run with person, baby.
Hey, I ain't got to be last. I ain't got to be first, but I just don't got to be last. I think you see it can be a combination, but I don't think their wide receiver core is strong.
No.
Yeah.
No, of course not. We know that.
It's not. But I think that's why if your running game is top 5 and not just Zeke, I think that plays. I think that goes there because you have that other option. And look, we got to see more play action out of this squad. We got to see more play action coming down the pike. You have to fool the defense. They're good. The defenses are good. They have good players. They can run with everyone from obviously your DBs, your linebackers, and now your DNs are fast and physical. So if you have that, and they can run down your quarterback, and they can run down, your running back in the backfield before you even really get started, you got to do something. You got to get to that second level and beyond. But you got to be, you have to be creative, because if not, you'll see what it is. Yeah, I think so, Jay. I think Diggs will bring the prime time back for real this year. I think to Trey's point, he may be a little bit bored in practice because he's not going up against the Amari Cooper or CeeDee Lamb.
I think what Jay means by that is you're going to use Diggs like he did with Dion as a receiver.
Oh,
he played wide receiver in high school.
He did.
Nick Saban, he can catch, dude.
He can. He's got hands.
You can put him in certain spots. He's not as fast as Dion, right? He ain't as
no one's fast as Dion.
But he can catch. I can why not try it? But I don't know. Mike McCarthy is
talking about Kellen Moore.
That's true.
We're talking about Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy, and they don't do that. They don't do that. So, yeah. I mean, that's why you have a receiver room of 12 guys in there right now on a 90-man roster. And you still haven't put Diggs on the other side. Like, you haven't even tried him in practice.
I still think, since we're running out of show here, Jerry Jones and the boys are seeing what's out there, see what they have in the first couple preseason games, and then go. I think that's what they're going at. That's the only thing I could think of. Why else are they holding $23 million?
24, $24 million in cap space. But I'm telling you, they're getting ready to get rid of Zeke, to get ready for Pollard, and just have that money ready for him.
But it's dead cap this year, though.
Yeah, I mean this year.
Zeke's contract's going off the books next year.
Yeah, that's what they're waiting on. So they'll carry that over.
And so they're going to add more cap space?
They're going to add more cap space to get Pollard.
And do what? Okay, you're telling me you're going to sign Pollard today? Massive running back contracts are non void anymore. Like Zeke was the last big major running back contract, and we all see how that works out.
Look,
Tony Pollard ain't getting Zeke money. He ain't getting that kind of money. I'm just saying the money's going to be there whether or not.
No, they'll give him the guarantee, right? And what they'll do is they'll give him the guarantee in that big contract, which would be end loaded. But what they'll do is, like they usually do, cut it once that guaranteed money is done. Once the guaranteed money is done, like Zeke's guaranteed money is done after this year. That's why they're like, yeah.
So you're gonna add Zeke's money plus the 23 cap that we have right now. You're gonna add all that. But Tony Pollard ain't gonna eat up all that. We're still gonna have more than 23 million. That's what I'm trying to get at.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you saving him for? Dalton Schultz? Like
no, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
But if you're Jerry Jones and you want to win a Super Bowl before, like he might, hope not, but he might not even make it past. He's damn near 80 years old.
I told you though.
He needs.
He has signed.
Why not? The Rams showed us you can.
He has signed a deal with the devil.
I hope to God you're right.
And once he wins, it will be his time, and the devil will take his soul. Now I don't know if it'll be that night. I don't know if it'll be the next day, but it'll be one. And look, I think Jerry as a pioneer of the cap, because he's the one that came up with it, and changing the game of football and from what it was to what it is today, amazing. No one has matched that, right? Maybe Al Davis, who was his mentor. No one but him. Those two right there. But when it comes to Cowboys, yeah, man, I just, because it doesn't make sense, the moves that have been made, the things that have been done, it's like, that's the only explanation I have. He's made a deal with the devil that, hey, once I get one,
so you're telling me that Jerry Jones will be profitable in hell?
If anyone can do it, he can. If anyone can do it, he can. I don't know.
This show has gone off the rails, man. We need the game, man.
Hey, that's what we're looking for this Saturday. Yes, it's time for football, real football. Hey, I am Jay Stoggs. That is Dre Collins. Make sure that you catch up with us on YouTube, Facebook, ASAP All Sports, All Play Sports Network. You can hit us up on YouTube, Facebook, and of course, everywhere you catch your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, all those places where you catch them. Make sure that you comment, because we want to comment. We want to hear what you got. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and you know what? Tell somebody. Hey, look, there's like 4 billion Cowboys fans around the world. Tell somebody. We're here, okay? We're here. See you later. We're here for each other. That's all we got.
Hug.
Big hugs, man. Big hugs. We need all of them.
Yes.
All of those.